Hello YouTube. Back again. I'm finding this very therapeutic, very like tour, and so I'm gonna use this vehicle as it. So I just put my son to bed, and I thought I'd discuss the different surgeries and my um, as my issues and my thoughts and my worries. Mostly my worries. Okay. So, with the lap band, I did research it again. That was the first one I was most excited about. Um, and I thought it was good that it's not permanent. You didn't have to really make any drastic change to your stomach. So all you're doing is putting a band there, and then there we go. So, however, when I did check on the complications, the whole throwing up, and everybody kept saying beeping, beeping. I'm like, what the hell is beeping? And then beeping just means burping back the food that you ate. So meaning the food didn't even go down enough for you to throw it up. So it's not even like so basically when you do have the lab and you have to chew a lot, and then when it goes down, if it goes down and it's stuck, like they were saying, like if the food goes down and it's like a piece of chicken, and even if you drink water, the water like just stays up, like basically it's staying up on your esophagus. It's not even going even to the little bit of stomach. So, and people just kept talking about, oh, I had BP today. I'm like it was nothing, and I'm like, okay, that's not nothing. That's a pretty big issue. Um, so they seem to be like it was frequent in a lot of all the different people had it. Like every video I saw, people were referring to beeping, 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 and even people had who had it for months, and they were still beeping and okay. So that was like okay, big issue. And there was still issues with malabsorption. So I'll discuss malabsorption later because that's a big one for me. Um, so once like you have to make sure you take enough liquid, enough protein, and things like that. So so that was the lab ban. Um, and the complications that people had, some people had with like it eroding, slippage. I mean, like I guess I don't know when it slip, does it slip up or down, like you know. So and a lot there was a lot about people going from the lap band to the sleeve because well, for whatever reason the lap band went bad and so they had to go to the sleeve. Okay, so that was worrying. Okay, now the gastric bypass is when of course they just leave you a little pouch and then cut uh, bypass your whole stomach and then your whole then the big intestines and goes to the small. So that's the big one, and the biggest thing seems to be not only is like this like really major surgery, but I think they still have that whole malabsorption with the gastric bypass, and I think that was a big issue, you know, and everybody seems to be beeping, so I think you also had the beeping issue with gastric bypass. Might be wrong in that, but so then I looked into the gastric sleeve. Now, the gastric sleeve was, I think, also extreme, where they just cut your stomach into the shape of a banana, zip, like throw away the rest. Um, and so I think it's not as bad as the gastric bypass, but not as, I guess, um, complicated. But no, not as complicated as the gastric bypass, but more complicated than the sleeve. Not more complicated than the lap band. So this one was like a little better. The good thing you know, like all the ones, I think there was some beeping, but less. You could, unlike the bypass and the lap band, you after a while, I guess you could eat like any kind of food, while the lap band really, can't eat a lot. You even after a year, you can't eat any every type of food because of the stuck or be having to get the food stuck. So basically, you can't eat as much, but you can still eat. Um, and our quality of life. Food is to me, for as much as I want to lose weight, food is not my enemy. It's been actually my best friend. So I definitely want to make sure like food is part of my life. I'm not, you know, I hope not to give up totally food. You know, um, I come from a culture rich in food, very tasty food, very good smelling food. So I wouldn't want to lose it all. Even though I want to lose the weight, but not the experience. When your family get together, we get together around food. So, I want to enjoy that. Um, so again, the sleeve is the one that I'm leaning toward because of like of it. I think not as drastic as bypass, not as restrictive. Like I really found, and then the whole idea of the ban with a foreign object. A lot of people, the ban went bad. They had slippage, and they had the whole thing with the CC. I mean, you have to see your doctor every few months so you can, so the doctor can give you a fill. And that whole thing idea with the fill, meaning they're putting water, taking out water. But okay, what kind of water is that? Like they saying saline? Is it really? Because I'm thinking. Um, you're still having like foreign body every few months in your body, and I'm just having the nightmare of the breast implants. Like knowing that people had breast implants and the breast implant had leakage, and the leakage would leak into their stomach, um and a lot of the band people talk about leaks. And however, with the gastric sleeve, you can still have leak, meaning like the acid fluid in your stomach can leak through the suture surgery. So that's a bad thing about that. Um, so it's bad. Can't believe I'm thinking about doing surgery. Um, well, you should always like weigh the risk and think about the risk. So I'm definitely thinking about all of the different complications that would come. And my biggest problem with the complication is the malabsorption, and you deal with malabsorption with every one of them. Um, my problem with the malabsorption is that I already have that problem with the thalassemia because I have low iron. I'm already vitamin D deficient. My B12 was okay last time I did, but the doctor had talked about chromium and all these different vitamins um, that you need to survive that I'm just not absorbing well in my food intake right now. So if I were to have the surgery and I'm restricting what I eat, and then that would even be an issue now. If so I think I definitely can't do the bypass, which would mean that you're bypassing the whole stomach. So there'd be no malabsorption. So I'd definitely be probably on IV all the time. Maybe that once a week would probably be me, and I definitely don't want to do that. Then of course the band, it's the same idea. I think for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just a restriction. Um, so I mean, the only one that I saw or in, I don't know, in my head that worked better was the sleeve because it was small, so you can still fit everything through. You're still having a functioning stomach, and of course, the good thing about them removing the part of your stomach that tells you that you're hungry. Well, if I wasn't hungry, that would be a good idea. I think I have head hunger, like when you're hungry in your head instead of like your body. Um, I think I am an emotional eater. Um, Like, I think even tonight, like, once I really find out that my stepdad's brother was sick, I think I was could feel it, and I could have held off and not eaten, but I ate. I mean, I hadn't eaten in a while, but you know, that the whole idea of being full, it's not. I think it doesn't have anything to do with the food itself. It just has to do with the feeling, the comfort feeling. You know, so I'm getting more and more conscious of that, and um, and realizing that I am a unconscious eater. Some people are conscious eater. I'm an unconscious eater where it's like I can eat and then not realize at all. Hey, you've eaten. It's like a drunk. You get drunk, forget everything. Um, so with that said, going back to the malabsorptions, and that's my worries about just making sure that the thalassemia um, and the iron deficiencies, you know, which you already create a malabsorption, of all the vitamins, especially iron that I need, doesn't get worse by, because of any surgery that I would have. So when I do go see the hematologist, I definitely want to talk to him about that. How is it going to affect it? I mean, all the other doctors agree that weight loss surgery is a good idea, but which type would be good for me? Um, that I'm not sure yet, and I want to make sure that whatever decision I make, it's a well informed one, because you never know if a decision is good or bad. You go on your guts, but it's a well informed one, um, and not taken lightly. So, and that's my and I'm not too knowledgeable about the three surgeries, so I'm definitely not an expert. It's what I've read, what I've been seeing from people's experiences, what I'm basing how I'm feeling on. Do have the seminar on Wednesday night that I'm gonna go to, so um, hopefully that gets me more informed. I get to see the surgeon, the bariatric surgeon, on the 15th. So hopefully that gets me still more informed. Then I could make a decision, say, okay, this would be what works for me. Even if I have to go back to the lab, and even though I don't feel that it would be good, but if I have to go back to it, if that's the one for me, yeah, definitely want to have a surgery. But I want to make sure like it's gonna be one where I can at least stay healthy, because I really don't want to feel like I felt a couple of months ago, and I was very very tired, very weak, very can't do anything, seeing black, and being woozy all the time. Um, so I want to make sure I'm not there. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. And I know my videos are long. I keep saying that, and it just started. But I'm finding this to be so therapeutic. It's like my second video, and hopefully I keep them up, and I'll just, you know, I enjoy this. So, um, good night, YouTube.